And thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock, and we want to begin with the teen driver accused of causing that crash that killed a former HSE football player appearing in adult court today. Trey Williams was driving Mason Alexander when that car swerved off the road, hit a tree, and caught fire. Our Logan Gay was at that first court appearance today. And Logan, what charges is Williams facing?
Well, Scott, Williams is charged with several offenses, including reckless homicide. And if convicted of a level 5 felony, he could face up to 6 years in prison. This week is a big one for HSE students, graduation week, and it should have been a time of celebration for Mason Alexander and his family. But instead of preparing for the celebration, they're spending their time going in and out of courtrooms.
No family wants to be, in this position. Not Kelly, not our extended family, not the Williams family.
But this means the families have gotten to know more about the Hamilton County Courthouse than they ever wanted to.
It's weighed heavy on the family, but again, each day that it brings us closer to justice for Mason.
Trey Williams appeared before the judge wearing his orange jail jumpsuit and listened as the judge read him his rights and his charges.
You are charged with the following. Count 1, reckless homicide, a level 5 felony. Count 2, reckless driving, a class A misdemeanor.
Williams has been in custody since his arrest on May 1st. He was waived from juvenile court to adult court last week. Monday, the judge discussed his bond. Originally, the prosecution and defense had agreed to a $10,000 bond. However, the judge said the circumstances of this case were so troubling that he actually decided to raise the amount to $50,000, something the Alexander family and the chief deputy prosecutor support.
We're dealing with a behavior that needs to be adjusted in some way. I think the courts and parental guidance is more focused to get that achieved.
Ultimately, the Alexander family says no matter the outcome, there are no winners here.
They have their child or young adult that is potentially facing prison time, but we also have Mason that received a sentence of eternity.
A message the prosecution hopes the community hears loud and clear.
We want to let everyone know that we take these kind of cases very seriously, and I hope that everyone takes a moment and a step back and a deep breath and drive carefully.
Carefully, like your life depends on it. A jury trial is currently scheduled for October 6th.
Logan, thanks so much. Tonight at 11, at least 2 Democrats on the City-County Council are now calling on Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hoget to resign. All of this comes amid sexual harassment allegations within his administration and campaign. Andy Nielsen just issued a letter today urging the mayor to step down. Last year, Councilor Jesse Brown shared a statement with 13 News with similar messaging. Just last week, a private law firm released its findings in an investigation into those harassment allegations. It found former Chief of Staff Thomas Cook violated the city's non-fraternization policy several times before his departure. The firm said the mayor and his administration acted in legal compliance, meaning the law, they did nothing wrong. But the council committee noted that more should have been done. Mayor Hoget responded to Nielsen's letter saying his team is now looking into the final months of Cook's tenure and will release a report on those findings. Meantime, he is asking the City County Council to work with his team to address issues found in the report. Rob?
Well, after temperatures earlier in the day today, right around 80 degrees, get ready. It's about to warm up even more. We've got temperatures currently cooling down into the 60s, still a couple of 70s hanging on, but it's about to get even warmer. Now, overnight, we'll drop down to around 60 degrees with mostly clear skies. And you saw this as we started to see the sunset, some of that wildfire smoke from Canada that's still into the air. I think that's going to stay with us for at least another day, if not much longer. But we're starting to tap into some winds out of the south and west, and that may improve things, not necessarily in the early part of the day tomorrow. We'll keep some of that haze in the forecast. Temperatures getting much warmer into the mid to upper 80s, and we've got another warm day after that, but storms are on the way. Scott will talk about when those arrive coming up.
Rob, thanks. Tonight, a final goodbye to Colts owner Jim Irsay. Friends, family, and leaders from across our state coming together for a private funeral service today. Jim Irsay died on May 21st at the age of 65. And since then, there's been this outpouring of love and support for the Colts owner. So it was really no surprise that so many people gathered for the memorial at St. Luke's United Methodist Church. We spotted former players and coaches, including Dwight Freeney, Reggie Wayne, Chuck Pagano, and Frank Reich. Tony Dungy did a reading. John Mellencamp performed today. Former governors Eric Holcomb and Evan Bayh also paying their respects. Irsay's grandchildren served as pallbearers and flower bearers. Colts leaders tell us plans for a public memorial are in the works tonight. We'll pass along those details to you once they're announced. Right now over on WTHR Plus, you can take a deeper look at Jim Irsay's life and work. Our special is available for you on demand. Just download the free app and watch it on your TV. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. A former Brownsburg daycare worker just made an appearance in court on child molestation and exploitation charges. Gabriel Garner pleaded not guilty to the remaining counts against him. Garner already entered a not guilty plea on 43 charges. Police arrested him last month. He used to work at Main Street University for Kids. Attorneys say there are 8 alleged victims in this case. Tonight, an Indianapolis man is sentenced to 37 years in prison for shooting his pregnant girlfriend in the head. She was critically injured near Fountain Square back in 2023 and lost the baby. A jury found 24-year-old Stephen Weiland guilty of attempted murder and aggravated battery earlier this year. Tonight, a woman is under arrest connected to a deadly overdose at an Indianapolis gym. Employees at a Planet Fitness found 39-year-old Derek Sink unresponsive in November. The coroner confirmed he died from an overdose. Police say texts on Sink's phone led them to 41-year-old Heather Bradford. Tonight, she's charged with dealing in a controlled substance resulting in death. Indiana Governor Mike Braun just fired 3 members of IU's Board of Trustees and appointed their replacements: broadcaster Sage Steele, attorney James Bopp Jr., and attorney Brian Eagle. Braun also reappointed Quinn Buckner, the current board chair. The 3 members fired by the governor had been elected. The governor gained the authority to control IU's board during the last legislative session. We've got reaction from Governor Braun, Buckner, and IU's president. You can read their statements right now if you go to WTHR.com or our 13 News app. Tonight, frustration is growing on the near north side of Indianapolis, where residents have been telling us they've been left in the dark about road repairs. People on one street, in fact, were told they'd be getting new pipes and a fresh layer of pavement. But Alex Almanza talked with neighbors who tell him the city and utility companies are pointing fingers instead of pouring asphalt.
Yeah, that's right, Scott. Residents say it started with a note on the door and a lot of hope. Neighbors say that crews gave residents along Orchard Avenue a note to clear the street for pipe work and repaving. So cones went up in the neighborhood near 38th and Keystone, not far from the state fairgrounds. Then those neighbors cones came right back down. And since then, it's been nothing but confusion. Residents say less than 2 weeks ago, city crews patched potholes. This morning, the crews came back and tore them up again. Residents say they've been giving conflicting explanations, from funding shortfalls to delays blamed on Citizens Energy Group. But when neighbors called the utility company, they say that they were told no project is even scheduled. And now they're left asking who's actually in charge and when will the work finally get done.
It's like waking up on Christmas morning and you don't have a gift underneath the tree. And they took the Christmas away.
Not only do you not have the gift, they even took the tree.
They took the tree.
You have nothing. But DPW says this, Citizen says this, and nobody's communicating.
Now we've reached out to both the Department of Public Works and Citizens Energy Group for clarity this evening. We'll let you know when they respond, but in the meantime, residents on Orchard Ave are waiting for answers. We'll have more once we get them. In the newsroom, Alex Almanza, 13 News.